Another component of God's design for marriage in the Old Testament, Israel, regularly compromised is the durability of marriage. Although a later chapter of his volume explore the topic of divorce in some details, a few comments here, according to Dr. Andrea Kostenberger, is great here. Let me just expound some of his thoughts here. The opening chapters of Genesis makes clear God designed marriage to be permanent. This is evident in the paradigmatic description of marriage in Genesis 2:24. A man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. While there is some debates among scholars regarding holding fast, there's no question God designed marriage to be permanent. So I think this is almost like the phrase that solidly anchors in the concept of the permanency and the durability of marriage in the mind of God. Because it says, a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife to become one flesh. I don't think that verse means that you become one flesh for 3 years or 5 years or 10 years and then split from that one flesh. Because the word used is very strong and very intimate and very vital for the concept of marriage, because it's a one flesh. It's not like one union. It's not like one contractual obligation. This has gone far beyond any contract of any man would have thought of. This is far more powerful than anything we have contrived of. It's far beyond the contractual agreement of a marriage covenant or a vow taken, etc. But this is really far more bigger, because it's one flesh. Why one flesh though? Where did it come from? Because God created man, Adam. When God said, let's create man in our image. So God created Adam in his image. And then God found out that after Adam had named all the animals and everything and done a lot of things God called him to do, and he was apparently lonely, but he didn't. It was not he did not say he was lonely in Genesis. It was actually God saw that he was lonely. He needed a suitable helper. So there's no one in the world that was suitable, because all the rest are animals, birds, animals, fish, and everything. And God said, let us create a suitable helper for the man. There's Genesis, I believe Genesis 2. Okay, so let me just try to find that verse. Okay, so okay, here you go. Genesis chapter 2 verse 15 onwards. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, you are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat of it, you will certainly die. The Lord God said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. So this is immediately perceived. God's marriage is God's ideas. God saw that it is not good for man to be alone. And the man was created by God. And God created a helper, who's a woman, for him. It's supposed to be for the man. Verse 19, for the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the wild animals, all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them. Whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to the livestock and birds in the air and all the wild animals. But for Adam, no suitable helper was found, none. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took some of the man's ribs, or one of the man's ribs, not some, and closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man. He brought her to the man. You notice that God created a woman and God brought the woman to the man. The man said, "This is now bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, should be called woman, should take it out of man." Now, verse 24, that is a significant verse. I'm trying to get it. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. Okay, that is why marriage is permanent status, is the original design intent of God.